Are you looking for easy passive income, or are you looking for ways to make money with your savings, but you don't want to take on too much risk? If you do, investing in CDs is one of the best way you can literally start earning passive income with your savings without exposing yourself to too much risk. So if you never heard of CDs before, or you never invested in the CDs before, I put this guide together to show you pretty much the steps you need to take to invest in CDs, and give you all the tools you need to get started with CD investing. So this is going to be a complete guide for beginners, and let's jump right into it. So before we get started, these are the topics we're going to talk about. So we'll start with what CDs are and where to open CDs, and then we're going to talk about types of CDs, and we will talk about the most used CD terms, because you definitely need to know kind of like the language of investing, similar to investing, right? If you're buying stocks, you need to know like how to buy stocks and different terms they use in stock investing. So CDs is the same thing. So we talk about like most used CD terms, and then we go to how to choose a CD if you decided to invest in CDs, and then we see talk about what you should expect after you invest in CDs, and how to pretty much like maximize your return on investment when investing in CDs, and what happens you see when your CD matures. And after that, we will just look at examples of what pretty much you expect after your CD matures, and some of the steps you need to take to make sure that you don't get exposed to too much risk. So again, before you buy CDs, you need to know what CDs are. So CDs are pretty much like, it's a type of savings account that offers you a fixed interest rate that is usually higher than regular savings account. So CDs, you can open them from a bank, a credit union, or online financial institutions, and the interest on the CDs is fixed as opposed to regular savings account or money market accounts. So CDs are suitable for you if you have some savings, you planning for something in the future, but you don't need them right now. So for example, if you have like a down payment for a car, or you're planning to buy a house in the future, but you don't want to spend that money to buy risky investments such as stocks, but you want to earn passive income from that money. So then you can use that money to invest into the CD, which gives you some form of passive income. But also your capital is protected because the CDs are insured by FDIC, as long as you buy them or you open them from FDIC insured institution. So CDs are really great investments because they come with a lot of terms. So you can literally have like a 2-month CD or a 3-month CD, all the way to mostly 5-year CDs. But you can also have like a 10-year CDs. And you normally don't pay any monthly fee to open a CD, but since CD pay a higher interest rate compared to regular savings accounts, there's a downside to them. So you normally have to keep the money into the account until your CD matures. Otherwise, you end up paying early CD withdrawal penalty. So now let's talk about advantages of investing in CDs. So first of all, CDs offer you a guaranteed return. So meaning you know how much you are going to be making every month and how much you should expect once your CD matures. And CDs are low risk. So technically, if you open a CD with an FDIC insured institution, which is recommended, then your CD account will be insured up to $250,000 per account category, and per bank and or institution, and per depositor. And then you have a competitive interest rate. Normally CD pay a higher interest rate, so you can expect to make up to 5%. So we'll go through some examples and I'll show you what the rates current markets are, and where to find the best CDs and the types of CDs to buy. Then we have a fixed interest rate as opposed to savings accounts or any other deposit accounts where the interest can fluctuate over time depending on market rates. CDs rates are fixed. And then you have variable terms. So you're going to have like a huge varieties of terms. So it can go from a few months to 10 years. And then you would have an option to build a CD ladder, which is basically an option where you can create multiple CDs as opposed to investing in one CD, which allows you to tap into your savings like after every once in a while instead of waiting for your whole balance to mature. And then we have CDs don't come with the fees, so that's pretty much some of the benefits. And then when you go to disadvantage of CDs, so now that I mentioned that CDs offer higher rates, but those rates are not the best compared to what you could make if you invest your money into like stocks where you can get up to 10% on average. So, and then there is a lack of liquidity. That's one of the biggest downside of CD. So when you buy a CD, technically the money gets locked into an account and you get paid at that fixed interest rate. But in exchange, you cannot take the money out, because if you do, then you are going to pay early CD withdrawal penalty. So CDs might not keep up with inflation, because technically if you are earning, let's say for example, 2% and the inflation rate goes to 5%, so you would want to make more than 5% for you to maintain your money's purchasing power. So, and that's one of the downside of CDs, because the fact that they pay you a fixed interest rate means you are risking losing purchasing power if inflation rate goes higher. And then you're gonna have early CD withdrawal penalty if you withdraw money from your CD before maturity, unless you have a liquid CD, which does not come with a penalty. So now let's move to different types of CDs. So when investing in CDs, for sure you are going to have a lot of options. Now these are the most common types of CDs, but your bank might not have all of them. So all the institutions you go with might not have all of them. So your goal is to find the best CDs you can buy, but these are the options you're going to come across. So we have non-penalty CD, which means it does not come with a penalty. Then you have high yield CD. These ones pay higher interest rates compared to regular CDs. And then you have a jumbo CDs. These ones require $100,000 to open a CD account. You have IRA CDs. So these are the ones that allow you to open an account in a tax advantaged retirement savings account. And then you have bump up CD or step up CD. These ones allow you to pretty much like increase interest rate every once in a while. And then you have brokered CDs. These ones you open them from third-party companies like brokerage companies. And then you have callable CDs. Callable CDs, these are CDs that allow the institution to basically to redeem the CD before maturity. You have add-on CDs. These ones allow you to add extra cash to your deposit during the CD term. And then you have zero coupon CDs. These ones don't pay interest rate, but you buy them at a discount. And then when they mature, you get the full face value of the CD. So your benefit or your return on investment becomes the difference between the face value and what you paid to open the account. So next, let's look at the most used CD terms you need to know when investing in CDs. So the first one is a CD, of course. Before you buy a CD, you gotta know what a CD is. So a CD, like I said, is a type of deposit account which pays you a higher interest rate that is fixed, and you cannot take the money until your CD matures, which brings us to maturity date. So maturity date is the day or the date when your CD officially, the terms of your CD ends and you get your deposit back. So CD pay an interest rate. Normally that is higher than a savings account. So an interest rate on a CD is pretty much how much interest you should expect to earn every 12 months, which is annualized. Then you can break it down into like a monthly. Then you have what we call annual percentage yield. This is pretty much the total interest on the account you earn every year, including the compounding effect. So APY is always higher than interest rate because APY includes interest rates plus the compounding effect. Then you have a grace period. So once your CD matures, you normally get like a few days or weeks, depending on the term of the CD, where you must take action to the account. So because the terms of the CD has ended, you have to do something. Either you can withdraw the money, you can transfer the money, you can renew the CD or you can let it get renewed automatically if you don't do anything. Then you're gonna have a CD terms. So this is pretty much represents the length of the number of days or month where you are going to keep the CD terms active until your CD matures. Then you have a payout frequency. This is how often you get paid interest. And you have a purchasing date. This is when the date you officially open the CD. And then you have opening deposit. This is the initial deposit that is required for the account, or the deposit you made it to the account when opening a CD. So now you know the basics of CD. How do you choose a CD? What are the things to look for when investing in CDs? I normally look for 4 things. Number 1 is CD terms. CD terms can range from 2 months to 5 years or sometimes 10 years. Now, the question is, how many months do you want your money to be held away without having to withdraw them early? That determines your CD terms. For example, if you want to buy a car in 6 months and you have your money saved in the account, you can buy a 2-month CD or 3-month CD or a 4-month CD if it is offered, but you cannot buy a 12-month CD, because if you do, your CD is going to mature in 12 months, but you're going to need your money in 6 months. So a short-term CD in this case will work. But if you have money that you don't need for anything, then purchasing a long-term CD would make sense. Then you have the type of CD. So I normally focus on high yield CDs, because these ones pay a higher interest rate. So think of these ones as promotional credit cards, where they tell you, hey, we're going to give you like a 12 months 0 APR so that you can open an account, and then we'll give you like $250 for opening an account, right? So high yield CDs are pretty much the same thing. These are also called promotional CDs. So they pay you like a 5% so they can open an account, but there's no string attached. You just open an account. Once it matures, you can withdraw the money, or you can open another one if you want. So, and then we have CD rates. So this is how much interest you are going to be paid on the CD. So you need to have a high interest on the CD. So normally promotional CDs and jumbo CDs pay the highest interest, but jumbo CDs require 100 grand. So not everybody has 100 grand laying it down, right? So you are left with promotional CDs, which pay pretty much the highest interest you can have on the CDs. Then you're gonna have a CD deposit. So CD require between $500 and $10,000 on average to open an account, but some CDs require less than that. Even some of them literally require $0 to open an account. So look into the CD you want to buy, but also make sure that you have the required down payment. How much should you expect to make when investing in a CDs? We're gonna go through some of these examples, and I'm gonna show you. So normally, if you go to this website, which is FDIC, this is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. So it publishes like a monthly CD rates, like a national average. So you can see you can go from 1 month CD all the way to 60-month CD, and these are the national average rates. So technically, if you are opening a CD, I will not recommend you to open a CD that pays like 1 point something percent. That's pretty much, oh my gosh, that's pretty much nothing. So you would want to look for CD that pay a much higher interest rates, and that's why promotional CDs come into play. So if you do a quick search in Google, for example, this one, I just checked, this is Bankrate, which is one of the most prominent websites to find different rates of financial products. So in this case, CDs, they have pretty much like they publish like a monthly CD rates. And you can see right now, for example, you have this bank right here, Marcus Gold by Goldman Sachs. They pay 4.4%, which is much higher compared to 1.5%, right? If you see these rates right here, they're not as much high as these ones right here. And the minimum deposit is $500, and this is a 14-month CD. So that means if you buy this CD right here, you will be paid 4.4% APY. This is the annual percentage yield, like we just seen it, and you will need $500 to open an account, and this is a 14-month CD. So you can see like here we have like a different institutions and how much they're paying. And this one, for example, Popular Direct is pretty much paying you 4.4%, but you need 10 grand to open an account, and this is a 3-month CD. So You can just go through the list, but if you any website you use that is prominent, they're gonna show you these rates. Mostly they're gonna be the same rates, and you can click on these links and go learn more about that specific institution and read about the CD terms. But always make sure that the institution is FDIC insured, because you don't want to lose your money if the institution goes bankrupt. So you always need your money to be protected. Anyways, this is just examples. So let me show you an example of my own CDs. So this is an example of one of my CDs I had a few months ago, which has matured. But you can see that this one I was making about $200 pretty much on average, $200. And this was like a free money. Like I said, you open an account, you deposit the money, and you start getting paid interest. And you can see over here I was making $200 every month. You can see right here, all these months I was just making pretty much free money. So that's pretty much what you need to know about CDs, the basics, and how much you should expect to make with CD. So this CD was paying me about 4.75%, but you don't, these rates, you're not going to get 4.75 all the time. So rates are adjusted based on the market rates. Now let's talk about things to do before your CD matures. You pretty much need to pay attention to 3 things. Number 1, you need to write down your CD maturity date, because after it matures, you will have to take action. If you miss the grace period, then you're going to risk having your CD renewed automatically, which you don't want to do. Next thing is to start thinking about what you want to do once your CD matures. Technically, you can have 3 options: withdraw the money, renew the CD automatically, or you can pick different CDs. So never let your CD renew automatically. You can either withdraw or pick a different CD if you want to, but don't let your CD renew automatically, because the bank normally renews by default. Most bank or other financial institution renew your CD to the same term, but they pay you interest equals to what they're paying for traditional CDs for that particular time. So you don't want that. Traditional CDs normally pay a much lower interest rate. And if you choose to do nothing, then of course that's when it gets renewed automatically. And then here, never touch your money before your CD matures, because you end up paying early CD withdrawal penalty, which is a number of days or months of interest on the CD. So for example, on a 12-month CD, you could be charged up to 6 months interest on the CD. So you don't want to do that. So then what to do when your CD matures? Like I said earlier, when your CD matures, you normally get to decide what to do. They give you a few days to decide what to do. You can either withdraw the money, which means you just take it out and send it out to a different account outside of your bank or whatever institution you use, and then you can use it for whatever you want. If you have, for example, an other investment that pays a much higher interest rate, it would not make sense to open another CD, right? So you will use your money where it benefits you the most. Or if you wanted to buy something, you can use that. You can do nothing, which is not recommended. So nothing means most banks will renew your CD automatically if you choose to do nothing, but the interest you get paid is much lower because they renew your CD to a traditional CD. Most institutions do that. They renew your CD to a traditional CD, and they pay you whatever interest they are offering for traditional CDs at that time. And always, traditional CDs pay low interest rate. Or you can pick a different CD. Some institutions give you an option before you close the account. They just give you like a competitive rate so that you can keep the money into the account. And when you keep the money into the account, by the way, it benefits them most. So that's why they will choose to give you another high yield CD instead of you closing the account. So anyways, that's pretty much it. So let's just recap what we have learned. So we have learned that CD is a deposit account that pays you a fixed interest rate, and the CDs you can be opened from a bank, credit unions, or online financial institutions. And you don't need a lot of money to open a CD because CDs usually require between $500 to $10,000. But you can also find a CDs that requires zero deposit, or if you want a jumbo CD, you need 100 grand. So, and then CDs pay a fixed interest rate, but they come with early CD withdrawal penalty if you take the money out before maturity. And always look for CDs that are from institutions that are FDIC insured, because the insurance goes up to $250,000 per institutions, per depositor, and per account category. And then there are many types of CDs to choose from, and you can earn up to 5%, and always target high yield CDs, and never let your CD renew automatically. So these are the basics of CDs. So if you decided to invest in CDs, I'll be making more videos about how to open a CD step by step, and I'll just guide you through the process. So if you like this video and want more financial tips to help you change your life, please subscribe to my channel and share this video to somebody you think might need this information. You never know, a simple video can help change somebody's life. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.